Welcome to the Be Happy Now show. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. I'm Claudia-Sam. If you know that you're here for a bigger reason, this is the place to be. Together, we ditch the self-care guilt and quit the go, go, go with less fear and more trust. Tune in to living life in alignment with your full potential. The Be Happy Now show starts now. Hey, welcome back to the show. This week I've been asking around, what are the thoughts in your mind? And do you want to change them? Now, I can go into the science of how often we repeat thoughts that are in loop and how many thoughts we have a day. And I know you know that it's important. And I know you know that you have thoughts in your mind. Raise your hand if you feel like there is an inner mean voice that is stronger than an inner kind voice inside your body, inside your mind. Yeah, mine is going at it often. Okay, I'm not doing what I'm doing with you here with my clients and on the Be Happy Now show for just as a fluke. My inner mean voice has a battle sometimes and wants to win and wants to go faster and wants to speak louder and all that jazz. What I've come to realize is that our inner voices, plural, and ourselves and how we see ourselves, that's actually the most intimate relationship that we'll ever have. No one else can be inside your head. Only you are witnessing all of the voices inside your head. Only you. And so, can you receive that? Like, wow, the most intimate relationship that I will ever have is with myself, especially with the thoughts inside my head. Wow. So like any relationship in the world, any person who you truly love, where right now you might be feeling like it's not an equal giving and receiving relationship, or maybe it's in your romantic relationship, in your friendship, in your business, we still get to own 100% of how we show up. We can't take on the other 100% of the relationship that belongs to the other person. Okay. So when I'm talking about the most intimate relationship, even if with someone you love right now, it doesn't feel even, that can also be the thing inside your body with all these inner voices, like the relationship with yourself. And what I want to invite us to discuss today is, can you make your inner relationship even? Can the voices in your head all come equally of giving and receiving? Can the way you show up and the way you see yourself, the way you want your life to go, how you really want to feel, can it be even? Can it be kind? Can it be respectful? Can the inner mean voice not take over and all? Can it not take the whole place, the whole space, the whole time, the whole energy, the whole battery? Can the inner kind, graceful, serving, supportive, loving thought also take place? That voice, can it also take place? I created something really special for you that I invite you to reach out to me to receive for free, okay? Anywhere that you and I are connected. And if we're not yet connected, then find me on Instagram at Coach Claudia-Sam, or on Facebook, my whole name, Claudia-Sam Cataford Sauve. The links will be in the description of the show. I created a thought maker, not a pacemaker, not a change maker thingy, although it is. It's a thought maker, which is a soul connection, inner voice thought audit process. And I created 5 questions. Actually, there's 6 because there's a bonus question for you to help you shift any unserving thoughts to serving thoughts. So in this episode, we're just going to talk it through. We're going to talk through what's happening and how this intimate relationship can actually be changed for you to feel like actually you're not being a victim of all these external circumstances, because you have control over that inner voice. So if you would like to receive the Thought Maker, the 5-question Thought Maker process, it has soul connection coaching questions for you. Reach out to me on any of those platforms that I shared and click on the links below to find me and friend me, and just send me the keyword Thought Maker. Thought Maker. Cool. Now, if you're noticing that in your mind there are thoughts like, this is never going to work, this is a shit show, this isn't happening, or I'm not good enough. Clearly, there's something wrong with me. I look to this, I look to that. I don't say the right things. Actually, how do you do this thing right? How can I make this even perfect? Oh, there must have been something wrong. Maybe you come out of a presentation or out of a meeting and you're like enumerating all the things that went wrong, when actually there are things that went right. So you see how the mind can be so focused on what's not working, on the what if negative scenario. And if you've been listening to the show for a while, then you've heard me talk about this before. And this isn't new information, right? I'm sure you get it. And I would really love to know, like, what is it that is entertained in your mind that you keep on repeat? Like, oh my gosh, this is hard. Life is hard. I hear it all around here. It's hard to get into the community. The living, the cost of living, it's so hard to match the cost of living. When I heard the other day, so in New Zealand, it's election time. And I've heard the other day on one of the debates that actually it should be called the cost of surviving. And yeah, we can label anything that we want based on the dictionary of meaning that we have created within this intimate relationship with our inner voices, based on what we've heard in the community, based on what we've learned at school, based on what we've learned from our family, and based on all the information that actually we didn't really have a choice, but we just kind of ended up with it based on our DNA, based on who we are, based on our lineage of ancestors and all the trauma that comes with it. We can decide that it's hard. And once we've decided that something is not easy, my gosh, it feels so hard to go back and make it easy, because we made it hard. So it's going to be hard to change it if it's hard. We made it hard, it's going to be hard. So if inside of your mind right now, there are thoughts like very unloving towards yourself. I'm too fat. How am I going to get another job? Or I have no motivation because I'm so fat, or because I look like this, or, just these really negative thoughts towards yourself that are not loving at all, and that are very closed, contracting, pushing down, negating who you are, way farther away from the truth that you are a miracle. If these thoughts about who you are, about yourself, are actually very negative and pessimistic, then, and you're making that mean that you can't get what you want, that you are undeserving of love, that you are undeserving of success, that your plans won't work out, that they will never work out, that who are you for these things to happen for you? No, they happen to you. You see what I mean? When the thought that you have about yourself is negative, and you make it mean something else that's negative, it's like a never-ending loop. And what I want to invite you here to know is that you can change this. You can make a difference in this thought pattern that is so unserving. A Course in Miracles says you are a miracle. You are a miracle. Quick challenge right now. Can you take a selfie? Take a selfie or look at yourself in the mirror. Yeah, I'm serious. Can you look at the intricate details in your eyes? The smallest details in the eyes. And the closer you can get to the mirror, and if you can take a selfie with different lighting, you might also recognize that the circles inside your eyes, they're actually moving, they're expanding and they're contracting. There are such small details that nobody has the same details as you in those eyes. You could also look at the lines on the palms of your hands. And if you don't have your sight, or if your eyes are closed right now, can you visualize the same thing over and over again? Or do you know that pretty much when you visualize something like a landscape with a bunch of flowers, it changes, it shifts. It's not a static thing because you are a miracle. Every living thing here is a miracle. Everything that you look around you that's there in your energy and in your space was created by someone who's a miracle. Everything is all intertwined a miracle. And if you're like, yeah, that's nice thought, that's nice thinking, those are nice words. Let me explain what a miracle is. A miracle is an expression of love. A miracle is an expression of love. And because you are a miracle and you are an expression of love, you are so unique. Love created you as itself. Love is, how can we describe love apart from like a feeling of expansion, of grace, of kindness, of beauty, of joy, of unlimited potential, of possibility, of softness, of calmness, of reassurance, of all that is true and good and uplifting and for us. So if you are a miracle, and really look at your eyes and then look at the skin, look somewhere else, visualize somewhere else in the image that you're seeing. And how was that even created? Like, I get the biology of it. And beyond that, it's a miracle that you are who you are in this physical body. Oh my. Can you take a breath here and bathe in this miraculous life that you are in? Do you believe, do you want to believe that love created you as itself so that you can bash yourself and be mean to yourself and waste so much of your precious, miraculous time thinking negative things about yourself and making you think that you can't achieve what your soul is here to expand into and light up as? You are a miracle. What if you thought from that place? What if you thought from the place of the knowing of the truth that you are a miracle and that love created you as itself? Doesn't that feel like, okay, I can lean back in a hammock a little bit for right now? All the precious minutes and seconds and instances that you are thinking anything far away from that truth that you are a miracle, meaning anything that is unserving, that is weighing down, draining your energy, making you think that actually you're a load of crap. Anything that goes alongside that or in alignment with that is untrue. And all it does is that it makes your body contract, tense up. It creates illness. It creates a broken finger. It creates headaches and migraines and body pain, because that's the only way that your soul gets to hear if you are not connected to the energy of love, to God, to the universe, to source, call it what resonates with you. The more disconnected you are from that, the more your body will then show you all kinds of messages to capture your attention And that's when we often get confused between the voice of the intuition and the voice of the ego. In other words, there's a distinction in the minds. A Course in Miracles says, my mind holds only thoughts that I share with God. My mind holds only thoughts that I share with God. Therefore, all the thoughts that are far away from that, that are negating the truth of love that you are, then that's the ego, that's fear, that's judgment, that's shame, that's guilt. That's not the mind that holds thoughts that you share with God. That is not the intuition. That is not loving. That is not truthfully who you are. Take a breath. I spent some time before recording this episode thinking, what am I going to talk about? I knew it was going to be about changing thoughts. And I prepared the thought maker, the soul connection coaching inner voice audit process. Like I prepped that. And I'm so grateful that I just channeled this information for you right now, because I feel like this is really powerful to support you to notice in the power of the truth and the connection to the truth of who you are. So thank you for your willingness to receive it and being an ear for it. Now, whatever's going on in your world, if it feels like it is an inner self-hatred and self-sabotaging kind of discourse, then you get to make a decision. Hey, do I want to change that? Do I want to connect more and be closer to the energy of love? Then please, like I invited you, get my thought maker. Send me that keyword, thought maker. Anywhere you can connect with me, all the links are in the show notes. And if you feel like, actually, it's not about me, I'm not having thoughts about me, I'm having thoughts about other people in my environment. I'm having thoughts about the world and the situation of the world. And I'm having thoughts about things that I actually think are out of my control. Take a breath in this awareness. Yeah. It still is a thought that you think, or a part of you it thinks. It's still one of your thoughts. And you can still choose to think that things won't work out, or that that person is crazy, or that that person is in such pain, and there might be judgment, or there might be hope for situations to be different. And I get that. What if you reconnected to the truth that you are a miracle, that somehow something happened that had your soul arrive in your body right now and have you serve and live the experience of life that you're living, thinking that the experiences, these external circumstances are happening to you or for you, whatever, they're there. They're in your energy. You're experiencing them. You're being with them. What if you saw all of that from the truth that love created you as itself? How different would it be? Would you see the world from the ego, fear, judgment, shame side, guilt? Or would you see the world and these circumstances and these people from an equal peace and grace and kindness? In other words, sometimes I like to say that to my clients, and even I practice this myself. Whenever I find that there's an icky situation, or there's someone just the message isn't coming across properly, or there's a miscommunication, or I can't get through to the other person, or they can't get through to me. So it creates like ickiness in a relationship. I'm sure have you experienced that? In these situations, I try to imagine that my soul is speaking to their soul. And all of our souls are here on an individual journey through this body to communicate uniquely the expression of love that we are as a miracle. So because we're all here on our unique journeys, we are still all connected. We're all tapped into this big database of consciousness that has us still all be a miracle, which is an expression of love. So what would happen if my expression of love was speaking to their expression of love? Away from the ego, away from the fears, away from the hopes and desires of what we want it to look like. Away from that. You might say, yeah, but how do I do that? That's the thing. It's not something to do necessarily. It's something to see. It's something to be willing to be with. Again, if you have no sight, for example, or if your eyes are closed, it's an energy holding. It's like, when you blow soap bubbles, the closer you get to the soap bubble with your finger, the more it'll pop, right? But it's so subtle. Like sometimes even drops of water can land on our skin and it still feels like it's still whole and it doesn't collapse, it doesn't break, and it's there, but we don't really feel it. It's so subtle. That's how holding energy is like. It's so fragile that we could automatically shift to the ego fear of the unserving thoughts. And we can also easily choose to hold the energy that we are love and that they are love too. And that in itself is a thought change. It's a perspective change. It's an energy change. And the first place I would actually have you look is your body language. Does it feel like you so want this to be different? So your fists are closed, your shoulders are hunched forward, you're contracting your body, you're tensing up your jaw. That is an energy. That is a way of being. So what if you opened your fists, leaned back, opened your chest, shoulder blades hugging the heart, lowering the shoulder blades, relaxing the forehead, releasing the jaw? What happens then? Do you feel it? That's a shift in energy. That's what we're looking for. It's so intricate. And we've been trained, even at school, to grade our success based on points, based on grades, based on tangible knowledge, based on things we can show with our hands and prove with facts. And what if actually you can now get on board with the truth that because you are a miracle, because you are part of this huge database of love, that the energy that you are holding and the choice, the conscious choice that you're making to shift from a contracting energy to an expansive energy, that in itself is succeeding, and that in itself is enough of a result. Can you let that be enough? Take a breath. Wow, I think it's enough for today. What do you say? So again, receive the thought maker. Send me a message with thought maker. Okay? It's the soul connection coaching inner voice audit process where I take you through 5 questions plus a bonus to help you shift your unserving thoughts to serving thoughts. And I give you examples, and it's a workbook that you get to work through. Okay? It's free and it's here for you. Made it just for you, just before this episode. Okay. Thank you for being here. I'm excited for you to do this thought maker process. And if you feel extra generous today, like and subscribe on YouTube and leave a 5-star review of the Be Happy Now show. We're approaching our 100th episode, and there's so much power. If you believe, if you know, and you trust that there's so much power in receiving the beauty and energy from this podcast, then please rate 5 stars and review the show. I will be so grateful for you so that we can help more of you, more loving miracles to access that within themselves. Thank you for being you. I'm so grateful for you. I believe in you. I'm excited to hear about the new thoughts that you'll create. Thank you. Bye.
You've been listening to the Be Happy Now show with me, Claudia-Sam. Flex your soul connection muscle and be your inner guide to fulfillment and purpose. You are worthy of being you and of connecting to what stops you from living the life you are meant to live. Access more soul connection coaching at claudiasamcoaching.com.